So your dumbass thought it would be a good idea to make turkey for Thanksgiving. Now, first thing you need to do before you do any of that shit, you need to clean your sink. I'm using some fucking Tilex Lysol with God knows what the hell in it. Spray the shit out of it, and I mean soak the hell out of it. You want every square inch of this shit to be covered with disinfectant. Once you clean your sink out, we can actually get going. Also, you're gonna want a runner to pick up all the shit that you forgot to buy, that you forgot that you needed. So I'm gonna clean the sink out and we'll get to the actual turkey. Cool, we got a clean ass sink. Time to get the bird. Where the hell's the bird? Here we go. Go on. One turkey. Fuck ton of butter. Like a shit ton of spices. Doesn't really matter what kind of spices you're using. We'll get to the reason for the butter in a little bit. First things first though, there's a couple of secrets you got to do with the turkey. And this is why we clean the sink, so we don't have to deal with the bullshit. First thing you do, you take this tag that has the turkey weight on it, and you put that shit aside. My turkey weighs 13.42 pounds, and if you decided to be one of the cool guys who has like a turkey dinner for 3 and bought a 50-pound turkey, well, your life's gonna suck today. But the reason we take that tag aside is right around the time when you think the turkey is gonna be done, you're gonna forget how much the fucker weighs, and you won't know if it's done. Me, I bought a Butterball fresh turkey. Fresh means it hasn't been frozen, which means it shouldn't need to be defrosted. But it's probably been frozen, and it's probably needed to be defrosted. It's been sitting in the fridge for 3 days. So, here we go. We got ourselves a turkey. Let's see. And there it is. There it is. There's all those fucking juices. That's why we clean out the sink with bleach, because we're just going to accept the fact that this job sucks. Alright, untie the fucking legs. Here we go. Leg number 1 out. Leg number 2 out. We got a neck. That goes in the trash. Unless you have a recipe for it, which I don't. And nothing else in the cavity, but here comes the cool part. They like to hide shit on the other side of this fucking thing. I really hope my head's not in the way, but it probably is, and I don't care. Alright. Over here, there's another hole. There's a little fucker. That's your gibletus. Plastic bag has a wonderful flavor, permeates the whole turkey if you cook it in there. So what they did over here is they didn't even shove it in the cavity, they shoved it in between the skin and the breast, which is actually terrible for us. But, alright, so we got the turkey, we're gonna soak it down with cold water real quick. There you go. And mine actually isn't frozen at all, which is nice. And a little in the butthole. Fill it up. Dump it out. There we go. And I'm throwing this bitch on the roasting pan. Awesome. And after we do that, we get to wash the sink out again with bleach, so we can get back to part 2. So while the turkey's up in the rack, boom, turkey in the rack, we're gonna get to work with all this damn butter. You might be asking yourself, what the fuck is all that butter for? Gonna melt all that shit down. 2 sticks of butter in the pan over medium-high heat, and we're gonna melt the shit out of it. Alright, we got the butter doing its thing more or less. Now we don't want it to boil, we just want it to melt. Into that butter I'm gonna add some thyme, some rosemary that I chopped up that I just happen to have in the freezer. Now for the exact spices, doesn't fucking matter. If it tastes good on chicken, it's gonna taste good on turkey. What else we got? We got some tarragon. Don't know when the hell I bought this, but fuck it, YOLO, let's put it in there. Lowry seasoned salt. Put that shit in there. What else we got? Black pepper. Why not? Let's mix this shit up, see what we get. And again, you don't want this shit to boil. You want it to just kind of settle in. We're also going to add some lemon juice, which is going to come fresh squeezed out of store brand. Ideally you want to use fresh lemons, but you know, ideally you want somebody else making your turkey too. So I'm going to let all that mix up, and we're going to let it percolate for a bit for the flavors to mix. And I'm looking around the kitchen wondering what else I can fucking throw in there that might taste good. And I just had the dumbest idea. Let's see if we have any. There we go. I'm going to throw in a chicken stock bouillon cube too, because I think that'll have all the spices we fucking need in it anyway. And this nastiness that we're making, it's gonna be just gonna be awesome, man. And you're gonna see why we rinsed out the sink twice. So, bouillon cube 1, bouillon cube 2. Open up, you motherfucker. There we go. Smash them. Okay, they are not in the mood to be smashed. Sweet. Fuck it. Alright, so we're going to throw all that shit together, stir it up nice, get that butter to take up all the flavors. We'll go from there. Gonna throw another stick of butter in there. I think we need more. Right around this time is when you're going to realize that you're going to need a runner for cooking Thanksgiving meals, because whatever butter you bought ain't going to be enough. Not for this shit show. Oh, and don't worry, we're gonna make all the sides and shit too. I'm gonna make butter. I'm gonna make, what else am I gonna make? Not butter, corn, mashed potatoes, maybe a little bit of stuffing with my special little sexy mix on it. And we're gonna preheat the oven right about now too. And what temperature do we need the oven? Where the fuck? Oh, here we go. 425. Now you're not going to leave it at 425, you're just going to start it off at 425. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith in the system. Let's see, has that stick of butter melted yet? Nope. Alright, we're going to let this simmer for about 10 minutes. So right around the time you turn your oven on, you want to make sure you take out all the racks and all the crap that you have hiding in your oven, because you're going to need to put the turkey on the lowest rack. Here we go. Oh, fuck my asshole. Alright, that's my little oven thermometer. There you go. Now the oven is ready to be preheated. 425. So looking at the butter, got a little dark, it's nice and thick. I think we're going to throw some garlic in there too. This garlic usually tastes good on chicken. Fuck it, why not? And we're going to do something really, really stupid with this. It's going to involve turkeys, it's going to involve butter, and it's going to involve a 2-cup measuring cup. But I'm going to do it over the sink, so we'll get you to you there. Might be wondering why I have a coriander in the freaking sink, which I washed one more time. Well, that coriander is there for one reason and one reason only. And that's to hold the turkey ass side up for me. Now, having washed the turkey, having washed my hands, and knowing that the oven's preheated, I'm going to take the skin that's over here in between the breast. Actually, you know what? We're going to stick these legs back through the butthole because they're just getting in the way. There we go. Alright, so, oh yeah, this piece of skin, don't cut that, you might need it later. And we're going to start working our hands in between and separating the skin from the breast meat. Now there's a reason we're going to do this, and it has a lot to do with that butter. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to turn this back on. So we got really hot butter. We got ourselves a really cold turkey. Ideally, what's going to happen is the butter is going to firm up a bit when it hits. There's all the spices, and we're just going to pour it into the cavities we made. A couple of things you want to take note of when you make those cavities is that you don't rip the center skin over the breast, because that's what's going to keep the rest of the meat, or the rest of the skin over the meat, so you can tuck it back in under like that. Now I'm going to use a toothpick over there to hold it in place. We're going to take that butter and we're going to get it all up in there. all up in the nooks and crannies. A little more. And because the turkey's cold, the butter solidifies fairly quickly. Like you can see it solidifying. And the butter should have all the flavor in it. Now we're going to transfer the turkey over to the pan, which means we're going to transfer the camera over to where the camera can see the pan. Alright, Operation Fuck Shit Up is in full effect. Take the rest of this butter, going to dump it all over this bird. We're not even going to be graceful about it. We're just going to make a mess. It's going to go in the pan on the bottom. That's alright. We're going to add some water to that so it doesn't smoke too bad. So, another word of advice that I learned the hard way. When everything's like this, still cold, this is when you want to start measuring out how much foil you need. Oh yeah, that's all the spices. Let's get that on there too. Put a nice big lump in the fucking middle. I'm gonna spread that out by hand. Yeah, look at all them spices. And all that is in the flavor of the butter too, so you don't have to worry about whether or not you got the spices and all the nooks and crannies. There we go. Just like that. And we're gonna get some tin foil after we wash our hands. We're gonna measure out how much we need to actually form a cover over this son of a bitch. Alright, tin foil time. So we got foil, right? 2 slices of foil. Stack them on top of each other. Make a fold. Double that fold. And remember that you left the damn oven on so the foil is burning hot. And then when you undo it, ta-da! Foil. Big ass piece. We're going to put that on the turkey. But before we do that, we got to figure out what to put in the butthole. Now, some folks like to do stuffing. I like to do oranges. Orange and an onion. And the secret to that is to drop everything. Sweet, stay. Is when you fill up the center of the turkey, you don't want to go 100% on that fucker. You want to leave a little bit of room in there so the heat can actually get in there.
Did you pick up the thing from the floor?
Yeah, I picked it up. Alright, I'll be right back once I'm done cutting the veggies. So I got my oranges and my onion cubed, or well, 1/8. I'm just going to start throwing them in there. And the reason why I pick oranges and onions is because they all have a high moisture content, which means they'll steam the turkey from the inside out, theoretically. Now you don't want to fill that hole all the way up because you still want to have air to circulate in there. So we'll do another orange. And there we go. So it's kind of like a guessing game. How much do you need to put in there to get heat to still circulate without drying out the turkey, and how much do you need in there so that not too much heat circulates and dries out the turkey. There we go. So we got the oranges, we got the turkey, and we got the oven up to 450. Can add a little bit of salt on the skin. There we go. And I'm just using kosher. And what the salt is going to do is it's going to make that sucker crisp up. I don't think I'm going to need a toothpick to hold that in place, which is kind of awesome. A little bit of pepper. Now, 2 theories on the wing thing. You can either tie the wings together close to the side, or you can let them, oh wait. So you can have the wings close to the side, or you can have them like flap open. If they flap open, these are gonna burn. They will. But for me, I'm in it for the breast meat. And that's gonna make the breast meat cook more evenly down here on the bottom if they're spread aside like that. I'm gonna throw it in the oven. The oven's preheated to 425. And after you're done poking at the turkey, you wanna wash your hands before you start picking up the tray, because your hands are gonna be covered in fucking butter. And you don't want to make the turkey go flying. Oh, before I forget, this is a quality of life issue. Take about a cup of water, and you pour it underneath the turkey. Alright, we're going to take about 2 cups of water and pour it underneath the turkey. Because what's going to happen is all the grease drippings are gonna hit the pan and start sizzling and smoking. But if you have water in there, hopefully all the grease drippings are gonna hit the water and not burn. Alright, one turkey in the oven. And one oven thermometer knocked the fuck over. We're gonna leave it at 425 for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna cover it with the foil and lower the heat in the oven. Alright, let's see what kind of fucking mess we made. Where the hell are my oven mitts? Hold on, I'll get back to you when I get my oven mitts. Sweet, got the oven mitts. Some space. And we're gonna take this turkey out. Let's see what it looks like so far. Well, you know what? I'm kind of gonna leave it in for 5 more minutes because one side of the turkey is a little browner than the other. So I'm rotating it. You may want to do that earlier than I did, like with 5 minutes left. So we'll see how that goes. Cool, so we lowered the oven temperature to 325. We're gonna take this fucker out for a second. As you can see, half of it got a little browner than the other half because the heat bounces off the walls. And now, well, there's not a lot of liquid down there. We should be basting it, but I'm not 100% into the whole basting thing. I never really found the need for it. But fuck it, we'll give it a shot. So all that water in the bottom, that's one of the reasons we put it in there. Got the water. Now the reason why I don't like basting is there's like this whole skin on the turkey designed to keep the moisture in. So it's not necessary for that, but one of the things that it does is it kind of tends to wash off all the spices you put on there. So that's why I'm being real super ginger with it. I do like to squeeze it in the butt though. You want to get a lot of moisture in there because it'll steam up out of there. Alright, so we got that going. Turkey's kind of nice. Oven's cooling down. And we need to add more water to the actual thing. There we go. Our turkey's been cooking for about 30 minutes now. So we can start doing our timing, which is like, 15 to 20 minutes per pound kind of crap. But what we're gonna do is wrap this son of a bitch without burning ourselves ideally. There we go. So the good news is you have like a quarter of a second after touching the side of the pants to realize you don't fucked up before it's screaming time. Yeah. You want to tent it up real nice, like, so it doesn't touch the turkey too much. There we go. It's foil, not origami, so it doesn't fucking matter. Now what sucks is I don't know where the damn handles are gonna be. God damn it, I swear to Christ. Here we go. And every time I fold one half, the other half pops up. Son of a bitch. Alright, I'm just gonna start killing this thing with murder, and then we'll go from there. There's the handles. There we go. Wrapped in foil. Beautiful. Oven's at 325-ish. Throw that bitch back in. Every time you take the turkey out and put it back in or check or anything, rotate it. Because half your oven's going to be hotter than the other half, and this just keeps it easier. And now we're just going to play the waiting game of X amount of minutes for X amount of pounds. And I should probably figure out how many that is. Yep, doesn't say it on the recipe. Fuck it, YOLO. Google it. Alright, let's make some fucking stuffing. We got stovetop, because I am not going to wait for the bread to die. I need a cutting board, some fucking onions, and here you are, some celery. And of course the secret ingredient, an entire fucking stick of butter. This stuffing's kind of awesome because you're going to end up finishing it off in the oven. So let's see, I got my super duper recipe here. 2 stalks of celery, chopped up fine. So we got 2 cups of celery. Oh, I gotta wash this. So to chop up celery, put the fucking head off before you start slicing it all fancy and shit. Kind of gotta get the usable pieces ready. Check this shit out. There we go. That's part about having a dog. Ate that whole damn thing. I love that thing. Alright, so got the celery. Gonna cut off the tips on the ends. Gonna grab a third one. Goes fuck it. They cut off too much of those, and now there's not enough celery. He's still working on it. I think that may have been too much celery. Just gave him a half pound of celery and it's a fucking 10-pound dog. Alright, so if you want to chop it fine, cut it down the middle. Like that. Line them all up. Just easy peasy, just like that. There we go. So we're going to chop up some celery. I'll chop up an onion. I'll get back to you when I'm done with that shit. Alright, we got the celery. We got the onion. And we're going to mix all these up. And holy crap, that onion is fucking strong. I can barely breathe. Alright, and now we're going to get to the magic of this whole thing, because this will require some cooking. So, big ass pan. Big ass pan, check. Turn the heat up on that fucker. Throw the stick of butter in there. So for how much butter you want to use, figure out how much one of these requires, which is blah bitty blah 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 blah. 4 tablespoons of butter. This is 8 tablespoons. We're using 2 boxes, so boom, butter. And a good rule to follow around holidays is to just leave your butter out so it melts faster. Wash the hand. Gonna melt this shit. And we'll see what we do once it melts. Butter's almost done. Gonna add all the veggies to the butter. Just gonna simmer it down now. There we go. Make sure all the butter is all over them veggies, real nice and tight like. So while that's doing its thing, you can hear the water running in the background. That's because I actually lied to y'all, as is tradition. You just need some chicken broth and some chicken bouillon or chicken flavored crap. Here, something dropped out. Go eat. Chicken flavored stuff. And we're going to add all that shit together too. So while that's doing its thing, we're going to measure out 2 cups of this crap. Which these come in 32 ounce things, and 32 ounces is 4 cups. So about half of it. Same rule applies as pouring oil. If you turn it upside down, it comes out easier. Alright. 2 cups. Pour it into a separate container. There we go. And then we're also going to add 1 cup of water. There we go. And that's on the heat back there. We're going to bring that up to a boil. So there we go. See how this is doing? This is doing great. We're just going to keep cooking it down until all the crispness goes out of the onions and we get some good flavor going. So while that's doing that, we're going to get the stuffing ready. And the secret to getting the stuffing ready is to find a big ass pot or a big ass bowl to mix all that shit up in. Something that's heat resistant, like plastic. So where the fuck are these? Stove top. Now the instructions that we're using require a certain amount of this, certain amount of that, and all that shit. And the cool part is, we already put the butter in with the veggies, and we're replacing just some of the water with chicken stock. That should add a really good flavor. Plus it's still got all the veggies in here. I don't usually use turkey stock because I use turkey flavored dressing. So, and then I think turkey is just, you know, weak ass chicken. There we go. So we got the veggies, we got the liquid in the back boiling, and we got the stuffing ready to go on the side. Now you noticed I took some chicken bouillon over here. And part of the fun with that is once we get the onions cooked down a bit, they're going to lose all their oniony flavor, but they will absorb other flavors. And the other flavor is going to absorb is this chicken paste. Now if all you got is a bouillon cube, that's fine, just mix it up with some water, but since I'm way too fucking lazy for that shit, I do this instead. That's a really good flavor. Get the fuck off my spoon, son of a bitch. There we go. Done and done. Stir that shit in there. Just like that. I'm not adding any salt and pepper or any kind of shit to the veggies because that's going to be in there anyway. Here we go. Get back to you when this is cooked down and just about right. Alright, the onions and everything else is nice and soggy, soaked through the butter. So we're going to turn off the heat. Move this close enough as to not melt. Just dump that shit over. To include all that butter. It's at times like this that one must ask himself, is that a heat-proof container? Cool that off, right throw it in the sink. And done. Alright. Oh yeah, wait, no, I still need the stirry stick. And before we add the liquid, I'm going to move this camera over. There we go. I can do the awesome stuff. There. Before we add the liquid, I'm going to stir this in there. Because it's just easier to stir this shit before it starts setting. Right, so that's all in there. Liquid just came up to a boil. Dump that shit in there. There we go. Give it a quick stir. Now for the liquid, it's better to go under than over. You can always add more. Now we're gonna throw the fucking top on that, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. I'm gonna check up on that turkey. So, oven mitts. Dog is very excited about the turkey situation. Cleaning off the landing pad, and that's still hot because we just made the stuffing on it. Let's see how we doing. Alright, so don't tilt the pan when you do this shit. Otherwise, you're going to pour hot turkey juice all over all the things. Alright, I'm gonna peel this fucker. Come on. Yep, there we go. All that steam is a good thing. Now, what else? What else? How much butter do we have left in this house? We got 2 half sticks. Holy shit. Okay, no, we still got another package. So, golden rule for Thanksgiving, man. Whatever butter you think you got, ain't gonna be enough. Alright, so, I'm gonna throw a stick of butter down here. And that's gonna melt. Pretty fucking quick from the looks of it. And we're going to get out of here, rat. Now this liquid, if we didn't add that cup of water in there to start with, it would pretty much just evaporate as soon as it hit the hot pan, but since we had the water in there, it had a chance to start building up, and then it just kind of sustains itself. There we go. A little something something. And a whole lot in the butthole. Because that's where we wanted to steam it up from. And remember, whatever direction you took the turkey out of, whoops, that sprayed all over me and the dog. He's very happy about it because he gets to lick it. And the butter on the bottom of the pan will keep it keep that fat in the liquid. So there we go. Yeah, I keep forgetting tinfoil is not really conducive. Well, it's very conducive, conductive even, especially of heat. All right, so we knocked over the thermometer last time. So let's see if I can all jam the fuck together. Yeah, this is not origami, so don't worry about making it neat. Here we go. There's the meat thermometer. I need something to grab that fucking thing with. These are the adventures of cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Or, not meat thermometer, oven thermometer. There we go. Gotcha, bitch. Alright. So, I think I went in that way, so we're gonna go in this way this time. And again, do not tilt that. Get out of here, you little rat! You're gonna burn your ass. God damn. Be smart. Yep, still at 350. So we're gonna leave it doing its thing. About an hour before your math actually tells you it's ready to go, you kind of want to start doing temp checks on the turkey, make sure it's going all right, make sure it's not burning. But right now it's only really been cooking for about an hour and a half, and I think it's 2 3/4 hours for how long I plan on cooking it. Either way, I'll see you when it's time to burn the next shit. So let's see how the stuffing came out. Just about right. Not too mushy, not too crunchy. We're gonna take all that shit and we're gonna put it into a pan because we're gonna throw that shit in the oven after. Oh yeah, that came out good. So, coming to the rapid realization that I don't have enough stuffing to fill up this pan. I thought I did. Well, maybe we'll get lucky. You don't want to make it too thin because it'll dry out. Alright, fucker. Get your bitch ass in there. Alright, so yeah, that's gonna be too thin in that pan. I need a pan about half that size. Let me see if I have one. Yep, that do. Dollar store specials. So what you're trying to do is minimize the surface area, because what's going to end up happening is this shit is going to get thrown into the oven and cooked. Let's see. I'm taking this plastic shit off and sticking it on the bottom one. So with any luck, I'll forget and I'll cook the bottom one with the plastic shit on it and start a fire. Very exciting. There we go. Let's fill a couple of these up. Now you can throw sausage and shit in here too. Last time I made it I added sausage, but I don't think it really mattered flavor wise, so I didn't bother this time. There we go. Put that in there. Put a lid on that shit. And when the turkey is done, it's going to have to be taken out of the oven and sit for about 15-20 minutes. I put this on backwards. Here we go. There. I don't even have to write stuffing on it, because everybody will know it's fucking stuffing because there's stuffing all over it. Alright, so as I was saying, turkey comes out of the oven. It's going to have to sit for about 15-20 minutes. And during that time, you're going to take the stuffing, you're going to throw it in the already heated oven, and it'll be easy peasy. But as of right, you can eat this right now. It's pretty fucking good. So that's my stuffing recipe, and I'll link it on the bottom of the stuffing portion of today's festivities. I'm gonna separate this video probably into like 3 things. Cool, so we are 1 hour out from turkey being done time. It's time to start taking our measurements and remembering where the fuck we put our gloves. So let's see what we got here. And the reason why you want to start checking early is there's a good chance that God hates you and is going to conspire against you to fuck up your Thanksgiving. So this is the way it went. We're going to rotate it that way. Alright. There we go. Fuck ass. Alright, camera's nice and fucked. Perfect. Excellent. Let's see. Where's our asshole plug? God damn it. Alright, so our magical journey to find a meat thermometer will begin now, and I'll get back to you when I'm finished with it. Cool. Meat thermometer, according to that, is 75 degrees in the house and above the turkey. Gonna check a couple of places. Right in there. We are at 160 degrees. So automatically we know the turkey's not done. And right in there, holy shit, we're at like 194. That's alright. So in here underneath the leg, like right in there, it's usually the last part to cook, so that's what we're aiming for. Let me cool this thermometer down. Alright, one more time. Out of my way, dog. Doing turkey shit. Yeah, this thing's showing like 180 degrees all around. According to this, it's done. Jesus shits. That cooked an hour faster than expected. So that's why we do the things we do about checking it an hour early. Nice setup. You almost got me, turkey. You almost fucking got me. Alright, where the hell is the squirter? Here we go. Alright, take the squirter. Get it all the juicy. And we're going to put it back in there without covering it in foil this time. We're going to see how we do on that. And I'm also going to get a second opinion on whether or not it's done, because I would hate to go through this much effort and fuck it up in the last minute. That's the secret with cooking a turkey. You can do everything right all day long and you can fuck it up in the last minute. Alright, so this side needs a little more browning, so I'll put that towards the wall. There we go. That's in there. So that's doing its thing. I had a plan. Oh yeah, the stuffing. Where the fuck did it go? Oh. Take the stuffing. Open that shit up. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put a cut here. There we go. So, the turkey's going back in the oven for 30 more minutes. Take the stuffing. Open that shit up. And throw it back in the oven. Hey! Don't eat the fucking meat thermometer. Why is the meat thermometer on the ground? God damn it, now I have to wash it. Alright. Dog. Swear to God. Oh, sweet. It does not fit. Even better. Alright, turkey takes priority. Back to covering this up so it doesn't dry out. Bad plan. Alright, for the mashed potatoes. Thing of water. Get that sucker up to boil. Some fucking salt in there. And some potatoes. 5 potatoes. Peeled. And chopped. Dump it into the boiling fucking water. There we go. Make sure you got enough water to cover them. And let them do their fucking thing. So while the potatoes are doing their thing, we're going to be making some corn too. First thing we're going to need is a couple of cans of corn and some butter. Alright, so we got a pan up to as hot as it can get. We're going to add 2 cans of corn. You can use frozen corn too. We're just going to let them simmer in there for a little bit. Until they start burning. And once they do that, we're going to add a fuck ton of butter. And that's pretty much it for corn. Alright, so I took the turkey out, took the top off the stuffing, throwing the stuffing in the oven, and with any luck, the corn's burning a little bit, and you'll notice that there's a film that happens underneath the corn. That's from all the sugar and crap in the water. That's alright, don't worry too much about it. What we're trying to do is get a nice little scorch happening to the corn. Meanwhile, let's see the mashed potatoes. On the mashed potato front, potatoes are still hard. You can check by just picking them up and giving them a little squeeze. If they're not yielding, that means they're not ready yet. So, gonna let those keep boiling. So the corn burned, as is tradition, because I had it on way too high. But I think it's salvageable. Gonna throw the butter in. Get that butter spread all around. I should cool it down a bit. Take it off the heat. And that's kind of the flavor we're looking for. We're looking for that burnt corn flavor without the actual sourness of the fire. Yeah, that's good. Only a couple of pieces burned. That should be salvageable. Now, one way you can jazz it up is you mix some salt and some sugar and water and you pour it over it, but I don't think it'll be necessary. Let's turn that heat off all the way. There you go. Oven fried or stovetop fried corn, thing of butter. The reason we didn't put the butter in there earlier is because the butter will burn real fast and you can't cook it as high of a heat, so it takes forever for the corn to caramelize up. So that's done. Now we just gotta wait on the mashed potatoes. Okay, so I transferred the corn over to one of these little serving pans, and that should keep it warm until everything comes together at the end. And now we're just waiting on the mashed potatoes. I think I have a reasonable facsimile of a Thanksgiving Day meal. Gonna make some gravy in that, but I'm just opening up bottles and dumping it in there. I don't think you need to see that. Alright, bottle of gravy. Glug, glug, glug. Heat it up until it turns liquid. Boom, that's my recipe for gravy. I just heat it up on low. See how we're doing on the mashed potatoes. Take one out. Close, we're close. Alright, so I tasted one of them. The mashed potatoes should be about ready. But unfortunately, I may have kind of sort of used my coriander to drain a raw turkey in, so I don't want to use that to drain this. So I got to figure out a better way to fish out the potatoes. I'm going to use one of these. Take all the potatoes out, put them over into the other pan. Easy peasy. And may as well turn the heat off. There we go. So this is actually a really simple recipe. You got potatoes, salt, some sour cream, and of course, like half a stick of butter. Because, you know, healthy. Alright, I'm not going to waste my time getting every fucking last piece. Here we go. The potatoes. Make that go away. Put it on the heat a little bit, get that extra water out of there. And it's time to get started. First things first. Gotta take the butter. Gotta throw it in there in little chunks. One little chunk. Two little chunks. And this should be half a stick right about there. There we go. Got some sour cream. Good old high quality store brand. Put a big ass dollop in there. Wait a second, this is cream cheese. That could have been bad. Let me get the sour cream. Alright. Sour cream. Big ass dollop. Just pop that shit in there. And let me see if garlic's required. Garlic is in fact required. So, sprinkle a little bit of garlic in there. You're gonna take your potato masher and just fucking go to town on it. All that shit will mix up. That's why you don't even wait for the butter to melt, because it's just all gonna get all fucked up. I'm gonna keep doing this until I actually get mashed potatoes instead of just mush. Alright, I just sprinkled a little bit of pepper in there. So we got garlic, pepper, sour cream, butter, and potatoes. And I use the Yukon Gold potatoes because they're a lot sweeter than the Idaho Bakers and shit. And there we go. Beautiful, creamy, fluffy mashed potatoes. And if you don't like the texture at this point, you can always add more butter or more sour cream, but I lucked out on this one, so we're gonna leave it as is. Also, if it's your first time making it, save like half a cup of potatoes from when you boiled them and put them off to the side in case you add too much sour cream and too much butter. You can always add the potatoes back in. That should be it. So that's ready. It's going on the table. Alright, now for the stuffing. Got it nice and browned on top. So that's ready. That's going on the table. Alright, so we got the corn, serving plate. There we go. That goes on the table. Alright, so the gravy is no longer a giant lump of gelatin. That's good to go. And that goes on the table. And there's dinner. Beautiful turkey. Remove that. Stuffing, jiggly cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, corn, and gravy. I'm gonna go carve the turkey and I'll take a picture once it's done. There we go, perfectly bisected turkey, or dissected I should say. Breast, legs, and wing. I don't do wing drummies because you usually end up fucking up the breast meat trying to get them off. So there we go, bon appetit.